of the useful features of Outlook integration is being able to synchronize contacts between your Outlook address book and your ACT database. Let's say that we've been using Outlook as our email client for a while now, and we've gathered a few personal contacts in our Outlook address book. But now we're using ACT heavily, and we want to figure out a way to keep our contacts current in both Outlook and ACT. Then going forward, if we add a contact in either program, we'd like it to be updated and current in both ACT and Outlook. First, we need to enable synchronization with Outlook from within ACT. Here's how to do that. I'm going to go to my Tools menu again, and from here I'm going to choose Preferences. Now I need to go to the Email and Outlook Sync tab. And since we've already set up our email system, we just need to look below that to the Outlook synchronization area. I'm going to click the Outlook Synchronization Preferences button. We need to do one thing before we can enable synchronization. We need to verify the database that we're using. If a database isn't listed at the top of the screen, you won't be able to continue with synchronization. So click the Change button to choose your database. I'm going to go to my CloudWalker pad file, provide a username and password, and click OK. Next, you need to choose which variant of Microsoft Outlook that you're using. You can choose Outlook, Office 365, or Exchange. I'm going to just stay with Outlook. Once you've chosen an ACT database and a variant of Outlook, you can begin to set up synchronization. Let's begin with Contacts. Here you need to choose the type of synchronization method you want to use. You can choose to not synchronize at all, synchronize from ACT to Outlook, synchronize from Outlook to ACT, or synchronize both ways. I'm going to choose that two-way synchronization. When you make this selection, the fields down below become populated and visible on this screen. So now it's time to determine which contacts you want to sync with Outlook. Notice that contact synchronization is based off your groups in ACT. So I'm going to click the Select button and then determine which groups to synchronize. You could choose to synchronize all ACT contacts, but for starters, I only want to synchronize my customers and my Outlook contacts and probably my prospects. I don't want to synchronize anything else. Now, if we create new contacts in Outlook, we can choose which group in ACT to add them to automatically. I'm going to add them to my Outlook contacts group and click OK. Next, we need to identify which is the master record in instances where a contact has been updated in both ACT and Outlook without being synchronized. So the one we select here will be considered the master record, and the other will be the one that gets overwritten. Now I know my contact information in ACT is more reliable, so I'm going to choose to keep the ACT contact. You could choose to keep the newest contact, in which case, whichever one is edited most recently will be the one that wins. Now at the bottom, I'm going to click this Schedule Automatic Synchronization button because there are some options here I'd like to look at. By default, automatic synchronization is disabled, but let's change that setting now. You can choose a daily sync at a certain time. You can also choose to synchronize at specific time intervals. You can synchronize when your computer is started or synchronize in real time when records change. I don't want to use that much of my CPU power, so I'm going to synchronize every 2 hours. Down at the bottom, the sync timer area allows you to specify a window of time when synchronizations will run. So if you don't need to sync in the middle of the night, you might consider changing this to start at, say, 7 in the morning and end at 6 p.m. Finally, this login delay timer will stall the synchronization from taking place while your computer reboots. So if you know it takes a good 10 minutes for your computer to start up, maybe put 10 minutes here so that a sync won't happen during your computer's startup procedures. All right, I'll click OK here and then OK again. ACT asks me if I want to perform our first synchronization now. I'm going to click Yes so that we can examine the results. If this user account control window opens up for you, click Yes so that ACT will allow it to work. In your taskbar, you should see a little spinning icon here. That just tells you that the synchronization is in progress. Once that's finished spinning, your synchronization is over, and if you hover over that little icon, it'll tell you the time of your most recent Outlook synchronization. So I'm going to go into Outlook now and click the Contacts tab there. And now I can see that my database from ACT has been added to Outlook based on the groups that I chose for synchronization. Let's look at a specific contact here in Outlook for Ryan Wheaton. And I want to make a change to his contact information in Outlook so that I can verify that any changes I make here will get synced back to ACT. On the address field, I'm going to edit this contact record, and in the address area, before Suite 101, I'm just going to type Building F and then click Save. And I'll click OK to make that save. And now from within Outlook, I can go to the ACT tab, and here I can choose Synchronize Now. So it's good to know that you can initiate a synchronization from either ACT or Outlook. The icon is no longer spinning. My time has been updated. So if I go to ACT and I look up Ryan, when I go to his detail view, I can see that Building F has been synchronized over from Outlook to ACT.